Databases are another way you can acquire your data for analysis as well as publish your results. There are two common database connections you may work with: ODBC, or Open Database Connectivity, and JDBC, or Java Database Connectivity. When working with databases, you may need to first set up the database to connect to your computer. This is a one-time setup and will not need to be done after the initial time. The setup will vary depending on the database you need to connect to. In my example, I want to use an Access database that's located in a network folder. For this, I can use the ODBC admin feature. From my computer's Start menu, I go to All Programs, Lavastorm, and select the Lavastorm version I have. Then I click ODBC admin. On the User DSN tab, click the Add button. Select the desired database option. Since I am working with an Access database, I will select the first option. Then I click Finish. I enter the name of my database, and under the Database section, I click the Select button. Next, I re-enter the name of my database. Now I locate the directory in the Directories folder. This is the location where my database is stored. Then I click OK. The database is selected. The database is now added. Now, let me show you the database acquisition nodes. The first is the DB query node. This node queries and converts specific data directly from ODBC compatible relational databases. For example, ODBC, OCI, such as Oracle, CLI, such as Teradata interfaces. I'm going to use this node in place of the Employees Info CSV file node. When connecting to a database, there is specific information you will need to enter into any database nodes to acquire the data. On the SQL tab, you want to tell the node what table within the database the node should get the data from. For example, I want to select all data from the Employee Info table. Then, on the Connection tab, I enter the information the node needs to connect to the database, such as database username and password. Then the database instance name. This is the exact name of the database that I am trying to connect to. Last, the interface type. Now I click OK. Let's run the node. The node acquires the data in the table I specified from the database I entered. Let's do this one more time. This time, I'm going to replace the adjustments CSV file. First, I tell the node what table to get the data from. Then I tell it how to connect to the database. Now I click OK. Let's run the node. The records were acquired successfully. Let's take a quick look at the JDBC query node. This node is very similar to that of the DB query node, but what it does is queries and converts specified data directly from relational databases via a JDBC interface. First, you have your SQL tab, which is where you tell the node which table in the database to get data from. Then you have the Connection tab, where you tell the node how to connect to the database. What differs here from the DB query node is the DB URL and DB driver fields. The documentation for the particular driver you are using should provide you with the information to fill in these fields. Now, let's talk about publishing to databases. Just as with the acquiring nodes, there are two database publishing nodes. The first is DB Store. This node stores the dataset as records within a relational database using ODBC, OCI, or CLI interfaces. For this node, all you need to work with is the Output tab. First, you have to tell the node the name of the table to load the output data to. For example, Employee Info. Note, if the table entered does not exist, an error is produced. Fix the error and try again. Then enter your database username and password, the database instance name, for example, the name of your database, and the interface type. The same goes for the JDBC Store node, which stores the datasets as records within a relational database using a JDBC interface. And that's how you can acquire and publish to a database.